Hi everyone, today I am giving you information on the topic extraocular muscles and how to test that the extraocular muscles are properly functioning or not. So let's move to the introduction. Extraocular muscles are the muscles which are responsible for the eye movement in the different directions. The word ocular is related to the eyes. So some extra muscles are attached to the eyeball which are responsible for performing the eye movements in the different directions. Let's see. So it is the movement of the eyes when we are looking straight. All these different types of movements are performed by our eyes when we look at the different direction. All these three movements are for the upside. When we look at the upside, all these three movements are those when we looking at the downsides. And this one is the eye movement when we look at the left side, and this one is responsible when we look at the right side. Okay, so all these movements takes place by our eyelids, and extraocular muscles are responsible for controlling all these movements. Types of extraocular muscles: we have a set of 6 extraocular muscles which included the 2 obliques. So 4 extraocular muscles are present. First one is the superior rectus muscle, next one is the inferior rectus muscle, third one is the lateral rectus muscle, and the fourth one is the medial rectus muscle. 2 obliques are present. First one is the superior oblique and the second one is the inferior oblique. Next one, here you can see the diagram. Here the upper eyelid will present and the downward eyelid, lower eyelid will present. Here the eyelashes will takes place. Okay, when we remove the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid, then the leftover part is only the eyeball. So our eyeball get attached to the muscles. These are the 4 muscles and these are the 2 obliques which are related to the eye, which are responsible for performing all the eye movements in all the 9 directions. Okay, so let's see one by one. Now first one is the superior rectus muscle. Then our eyes are supposed to look at the upward direction. So superior rectus muscle will perform its function. When our eyes are supposed to look at the downward direction, then the inferior rectus muscle will perform its function. And we are considering this eye as a right eye. Okay, this one is our right eye. So here the nose will be present. Okay, and here the ear will be present. At the nasal side, we will considering the medial rectus muscle. Okay, when we are supposed to looking at the nasal side or the nose side, then the medial rectus muscle will perform its function. When we are supposed to look at the ear side, then lateral rectus muscle will perform its function. Let's move to the 2 obliques. First one is the superior oblique and the second one will be inferior oblique. These are responsible for performing the circulatory movements. Okay, downward as well as the outward movement is performed by the superior oblique, and upward and the outward movement is performed by the inferior oblique. So these are the functions of both the obliques. One oblique is present here and the second oblique is present here. Okay, let's move to the next one. Purpose of extraocular muscle test. EOMS means extraocular muscles. Now what is the purpose of extraocular muscle test? Why we are performing this test? Because all the movements in the 9 directions which can take place are the normal eye movements which are performed by our both the eyes in a normal human being. Now we are supposed to check the ability of the eye muscles, that are they performing their function normally or abnormally. That is the purpose of extraocular muscle test. Okay, because in the normal condition all muscles are supposed to perform all the movements of the eye. No one movement will be restricted. That is why we are checking that the extraocular muscles are properly functioning or not. Instruments required: we require pen light or a torch. Now setup, how the setup should be there. Examiner should sit in front of the patient. Okay, examiner should sit in front of the patient like this. Spectacles should be removed by the patient. Patient have to remove the spectacle if he or she have. Examiner holds the pen light. Examiner have to hold the torch in one of his hand. Next one, turn on the pen light and hold directly in front of the patient. The examiner have to turn on the pen light or torch, whatever he has, and hold it directly in front of the patient. Distance should be 40 to 50 centimeter. The distance between both of them should be 40 to 50 centimeters. So here the distance will be 40 to 50 centimeters. Instruct the patient to follow the light without moving his head. We are asking the patient that he will keep his head straight and just try to focus on the light. The examiner will hold the light in his hand and moving it into the different directions. Okay, and the patient have to have not to nod his head, have to look straight ahead and follow the light with the eyes. This test will take place binocularly. We will do for the both eyes at the same time. Now this test is known as a broad edge test. Why it is known as broad edge? Here in the test the edge will form. The edge is broad, its width is more, that is why it is known as a broad edge. Okay. Now the examiner have to move the torchlight in the different direction. First of all, he will keep the torch here at the 1 and then move to the 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 9. Okay. He can perform the test 1 time, 2 time, as many as time he have to, as he can understand are the extraocular muscles are performing the movements properly or not. This test will take place simultaneously for both the eyes, and the examiner have to move the torch in the different directions in the all the 9 directions, starting from 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as the sequence shows. Next one, these eye movements will be the result in case of a normal person. This one is the primary gaze. 2, 3, 4 in all the 9 directions. This result will be there. Okay. Safe strategy. So how we will remember it? By using a safe strategy. Smoothness. The smoothness should be takes place when the patient can remove his eyes. The eyes will smoothly move to that direction in which the light moves. Accurate. Accurate result should be there when the examiner is moving the torchlight at the right side at the 2 point, then the eyes will show the movement at the 2 point. Okay, will not show the movement at the 3 point or the any other point. Full eyes should be fully moved. For example, here the torchlight is somewhere present here, and the eyes will be fully moved to the torchlight. Okay. Next one, extensive. Extended eye should be extended at that point where the torchlight is present. So this one was the safe strategy. SAFE. Next one, note down if the patient feels. We are supposed to ask the patient if he can feel pain in any of the direction, in any of the eye. Light become double. Sometimes the patient will say that in the right side, at the left side, the light becomes double. So we have to note down this point. It is very important. Move the light into all the 9 directions. The examiner is not forget to move the lights in all the 9 directions in the same sequence as I have shown. Next one, exceptions. Sometimes some exceptional cases are there. First one is nystagmoid. Nystagmoid is a kind of condition in which the eyeball of the patient continuously moves throughout the life. 3 directions are there. Sometimes they will move in the horizontal direction, sometimes they will move in vertical direction, and sometimes they will move in a circulatory direction. They will move the lifetime. It is a muscle weakness, takes place once it gets started, then it will becomes throughout the life. So these are the exceptional cases in which the extraocular muscles are not properly functioning. That's why the lifetime the eyes of the patient gets moved. Next one is the failure to follow light. Sometimes it will take place that one eye of the patient cannot follow the proper light in one of the particular direction. Okay, it will follow the light in all the 8 direction but will not follow the light in the 9th direction. So that condition will failure to follow light in the that particular direction. Restricted. Sometimes the movement of the eye become restricted. It will not move to the two directions. The movement will stop at the particular point that is restricted. Next one is lagging. Smooth movements will not take place. I become lazily shows the movement. I will slowly come to that point, from one point to another point. That one was lagging. Okay. All these four are the exceptional cases. Thanks for your patience listening.